Hey, welcome back, guys. All right, so a few things to consider here. When you are changing the cover here, we are simply sending uh, a post with containing the fields that we need here. Now, somebody could spoof this and change the group settings, so it's very possible. So we need to be always security conscious. If we go to the settings.php here and we see the save settings here, it doesn't make any attempt to check if the user that is saving this actually owns the content that they are saving. So there's an easy fix for this because we already have access the if clause that checks for whether you are actually eligible to access something or not. So the only one that should be able to change those settings is the admin. Yes. So let's go down here to where we're actually putting that if statement, and this is the one right here which only allows the admin to see the button. But seeing the button here is one thing, but it's very possible to bypass the button itself using the URL, so we have to be careful about that. So we need to double check when we get to this point if the current user is still eligible to run these setting altering events. So I'm going to paste that if statement over there. I still want us to be able to refresh here, so no big deal. I'll do that, close it over there, and then push everything internally like that. So just by adding this, we make sure that we double check that this user is actually an admin of this page before they can do anything to change the settings. If not, the information is simply discarded. We don't even want to show them an error or anything like that. They don't deserve it. So this is all we needed there. But still, let me change this to something more that looks more like a cover photo. So there we go. Yeah, something like that. Maybe this is a group for this product, who knows. Yeah, so there we go, everything looking good. Now the thing is, if we go to members here, as an admin I should be able to just select any member here, and I can add them as admin or as moderator as well. So that is important. Now we're not going to rush into doing that. We're going to go to the invite and see how we can invite people. But for now, I just want us to add the buttons here so that we don't forget in future that there's that feature that we need to do. And so once we are done with that feature and the invite, I think that will be a wrap on groups and so on. All right, so let's see how we can go about doing this. Now, the important thing to note is that these single files, these include files, are specially made for groups, so I can add new things here without affecting these ones that I see here because they're actually different files. So that's good. So we go to members here, and let me come to my text editor here and look for that button. The file, sorry, so it's called user group member, because the request does contain requests here. Okay, there are no requests for now. The request does contain accept, decline, and so on, right? So let's go there and see those buttons there. So that's group requests. That's the file user group requests. And here there's accept and there's decline. So I want to grab this entire thing here, copy, and I want to come to group members here and paste it over here. So simply do that. And this way, when I check on the members, I have a few extra buttons on them. Yeah. So instead of accept and decline, we have different buttons that we need. So I think there are actually 3 buttons that we need. So the very first one is instead of decline, there is make admin, or instead of make admin, we may have more of these. Maybe we want to add, apart from moderator, we want to add one more. We can't put a button there for moderator and admin. So what we will do is just write change access, maybe something like that. I don't know. You guys can be creative. Just write access there, or it could be edit access, something like this. And then instead of accept and decline, we can have we should be able to remove a user from. Okay, I think I'll put edit access here, and this one I will put remove, like that. So remove the user from the group, edit their access level, and there's one more that I haven't, one more that I've forgotten. Let's come back here, refresh. Okay, so we have edit access or remove from the group. I think actually that's it. Anyway, if we think of one more, we can always add it there. Yeah, I can't actually think of it right now, but I was thinking some time back that it's 3 things I need there, but it turns out for now it's just 2. So remove from group, edit access. I think that's reasonable. So we'll leave these guys for a while and do something else. So I keep thinking the font size is a bit too large here. Let me try that. Yeah, that looks more reasonable. Okay, so edit access, remove. Okay, so makes sense. And then now, instead of dealing with this, let's deal with the invite. Now, the invite works exactly just like the requests, right? So let's go to the requests here. It's just that now it's not the if somebody requests to be in a group, right? They request to be in a group, we send the request to one table, and then when it's time to accept, we move that acceptance from the request table into the actual members table, right? Which is kind of exactly what happens when somebody is invited. So if I invite a user, the only difference is that now I'm not using my own details. I'm submitting somebody else's details into the requests part there, and then it's just that now it's the other person that has to answer and not the admin. So let's come back here and see that we're using tables. So there's group requests here. Okay, so there's a request here which can be disabled or enabled, but instead of creating a new table entirely, so it's up to you, you can create a new table, but we already have a running system here which we might want to use so that we reduce the amount of code that we need to do. So instead I can just simply add a column here and call the other ones, instead of requests, they're actually invites or something like that, and then group members is there. But maybe just because we've done this kind of thing, leveraging what already exists in one area, let's try and create something new from this. So what I will do is go to the structure of this. Let's go there. Let's go to operations here on the table. So now if you want to copy a table, like the way group requests is, I want group invites. Okay, but this one is group requests, but I want the columns that are similar to this. So what I want to do is make a copy. So copy table 2. So this is the table that I want to copy, group requests, and I want to copy this structure only, right? Where is this? Rename to move table. Okay, so that's copy right there. Okay, so I'm copying this one to invites. So I'll change this to invites like that. So group invites there. This is the database itself. Okay, so I'm copying to database.table, which is this database.table. And I just want to copy the structure itself, not the data it contains. Everything else I leave as is, and I hit go. So there, that saves me from, okay, there we go. So it has copied. So now I have a new table, group invites there. So if I click on it, I have this here. So there's the group ID where I've been invited, then there's the user ID, and then now there is the one that invited you, whom you should also know, because when we are writing our notification, it has to be so and so invited you to like this group. So it will be like this one invited you to that. So let's create a structure here, and I want to add one more column at the very end, and I'm going to call this one inviter. There's an N there somewhere. Oh, now I've forgotten the V. Inviter, like that. So it's up to you what the column name should be, but yeah, big integer and save, because we're going to be putting their user ID there. So inviter, who was invited, and what group they were invited to. So let's put an index there for inviter. Yeah, and that actually does it. So let's come back here to browse, and there we go. Alright, so in the next video we'll see how we can populate this when somebody clicks the invite button.